Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we're going to be doing a bit of a different video today, and I'm just going to be talking about the game and the current state of the game and what I think about Legends. You know, we haven't done like an overview of just the game itself in a long time. We haven't sat down and just talked about the status of the game, right? The state of the game rather, not the status. But I mean, we're going to talk about just the game itself and what I think about World of Warships Legends right now and why and what rather I think needs changing, or you know, what wargaming is doing good and what they're doing not so good. So I'm gonna go into that a little bit. I'm gonna talk about just how I feel about the game currently, basically the state of the game, in my opinion. Currently it's 2024 at the time of recording this. It's May 16th, so we've gotten about 5 updates this year so far. So January, February, March, April, May. The updates haven't been all that crazy. We haven't gotten anything crazy this year. But there has been no shortage of content. Now there has been a month or two so far where, you know, it's been a little on content. But this update in particular, the May update has been perfect. And I think overall Wargaming has done, for the most part, a solid job in delivering content, right, every month. They've kept on that pretty well. Now, of course, there's an occasional month throughout the year, a month or two, maybe 3 months throughout the year, where they're not going to have a lot of content because sometimes they need a break. I understand. I mean, you're constantly putting stuff out. Not every month is going to have crazy stuff coming. I understand that. I'm not a greedy person. I don't, you know, claim myself to be, so I can understand, you know, them taking a break and, whatever, right? So anyway, so overall, I think the content, the content that we've been getting has been pretty good. Now for content creators like myself and a lot of others out there, I think we've been also doing pretty well in terms of stuff to cover, like new ships and new game modes and all that. I've been having a lot of fun with the game itself and everything, and I've had no problem covering stuff for you guys out there and gals. On certain things that are new within the game and whatnot. So that, again, is pretty good because, you know, as long as Wargaming is keeping up on the content delivery and, you know, they keep on bringing new stuff and making the game cool and great and spicy, and I think the game's never going to die. As long as Wargaming keeps it up and keeps on making the game fresh and making it, you know, enjoyable. I think they're never going to have any problems. There's a lot of people out there who think World of Warships Legends is dying. Like, it's not dying. I think it's in the most strongest place it's ever been in terms of people playing the game and having fun with it. Again, there's a lot of people out there who aren't very good at the game. There's a lot of potatoes out there. We all know it. We all love it. I mean, this game has its ups and freaking downs. You know, not every game is going to be a god tier match, right? Not every game is going to, you know, not every game is going to work out in your favor. You know, you're going to have people who are going to not be very good on your team, and sometimes you'll have god tier players on your team, and sometimes you'll have great games and whatever, right? It's all pretty randomized. I mean, it's like 50-50 if you're going to have a good game or not. And it's like 50-50 if you're going to get good, decent teammates or not, and, you know, and whatnot. So, again, the game isn't dying. I think the game is pretty strong right now in terms of player numbers. Wargaming doesn't release player numbers, but if I had to guess, there's thousands and thousands of people playing at a given time. I mean, like right now, if I was to do it, I could launch right now into a tier 7 game, a tier 6 game, a tier 5 game, a tier 4 game, a tier 3 game, and I could find a game under a minute, under 30 seconds even. Like any tier, even legendary in tier 8, you can find a game really fast, and that right there is self-evident that the game is not dying. There's plenty of people playing this game. So that's, you know, a good thing. I mean, the game is doing well. And I know Wargaming is making quite a bit of money too off the game because I spend money on it, and I'm sure if there's people like me, which I know there are, Wargaming is definitely making the pretty penny off the game as well. I hope Wargaming continues to do good with the game. I hope they continue to keep on updating it, making it fresh, adding new things to do with the ships that we have. You know, adding new game modes. Fleet battles would be nice. I mean, we haven't had fleet battles in like 4, 5, 6 months. Something like that. I wish we can have another fleet battle season. But overall, I think the game is in a really good spot in terms of content and stuff like that. Now, where I think the game is lacking a little bit, let me think here. I don't think the game is really lacking in anywhere. I mean, I think we're in a great spot. I mean, I would say there are some places where the game is lacking, and it's more of just the game mechanics themselves. Like, again, I think the game's great right now. I think there's so many ships, and there's a lot to do. But I think where the game is lacking is lack of game modes, man. Like, I mean, right now we got ranked going, but like ranked, let's be real, this gets annoying after a while. I would like to see a game mode getting cycled every single week. Like every 7 days, there should be a new game mode. Like week 1 of the update should be ranked. Week 2 of the update, brawl. Week 3 of the update, I don't know, arena. Week 4 of the update, fleet battles. I mean, they should cycle every single game mode out every single week, man. Like, we need to have more things to do with our boats. I wish there was more things to do. Maybe different versions of the maps. And Wargaming actually has done a pretty decent job in spicing up the maps and changing around the spawns and whatnot. But I think there could be a little bit more done. I think, maybe some arms race modes, like the mode where you can go around and collect consumables, stuff like that. That could be a fun little variation, in operations would be a fun thing. Now, I get it. Wargaming is probably saving operations and stuff like that for future updates. They're trying to, not give us everything right off the bat, because you got to keep in mind, Wargaming has to sprinkle things in slowly, or else if they just release everything too quickly, then they're going to run out of things to do. And that's when some crazy stuff could happen. I mean, if they run out of ideas, then yeah, that's when they have to resort to some drastic measures, I'm sure, to make the game interesting, right? So we just got to be patient. But again, I think the game overall is in a good spot. Now, there's some pet peeves I have with the game, and number one being RNG. I mean, the RNG in this game is insane. It's the main reason why you all, if you watch my live streams, y'all know I get super pissed at the game. And it's just the RNG. I think it needs to get toned down. There needs to be some buffs all across the board for accuracy, for battleships, especially like the American battleships and stuff like that. Again, there might be a little bit of bias there, but I mean, come on. If you guys watch my streams and I'm playing and you guys see what happens on those streams, it's insane. Like people that are making blatant mistakes, not getting punished. My shell's going everywhere but where I aim. The game is trolling you constantly. It's literally like rolling a slot machine every time you play. It's horrible. I don't know what Wargaming could do, but just toning down the RNG would be fantastic. It drives me bonkers. Again, that's really nothing wrong with the game. It's always been there, but that just drives me crazy. There's a lot of people out there who make mistakes and they don't get punished for making mistakes because, I don't know, RNG is, I guess, on their side. Whatever baby carrots they sacrifice to get that kind of RNG, man, it must be nice. But it is a two-way street. Occasionally I get lucky too, but again, if you make a mistake, you need to get punished for it. I think that's a good rule of thumb, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you're playing like a dum-dum, you need to get punished. You need to get taught a lesson, right? And a lot of times that just doesn't happen anymore. There's so many games where I just literally want to take my controller and shove it through my goddamn monitor because of some bullshit that happens in battle. Like, it's insane. And there's no excuse for it. It's just RNG fucking you. It's obnoxious as hell. But, again, there are occasional games where I just go completely off and everything works in my favor and, it's a great time. And that's just it. The game is kind of rigged. It's like 1 minute everything's working, next minute everything is just limp dick doing nothing for you. Pardon my language, but I mean, it's just the truth. So I don't know, Wargaming, if they could tone down the RNG and make things a little bit more unforgiving for people out there. I don't know, just make battleships slightly more accurate. Not all of them. There are some that are perfectly fine, but like I think it's ridiculous that, for example, the Iowas all have a 1.80 sigma, and the Alabama has a 1.90 sigma, and the South Dakotas overall. Like, why is it that the Iowas, don't have the same don't have better accuracy than the South Dakotas? It makes no sense. They were the class after the South Dakota class battleships, and yet they're less accurate. Again, that's just my bias, but it's not just Americans. It's also other nations too. There needs to be, I think, a little bit of buffs in terms of accuracy and dispersion and sigma and whatnot. for battleships. Battleships suffer too much in this game these days. Again, not all battleships need to get buffed. Like, I think there's some well-off, you know, battleships out there, but I think there's some ships out there that need to get looked at. Like, that's another, you know, another thing I want to talk about is stuff that needs to change. Like, there's a lot of ships out there that should get buffed. There's a lot of ships out there that people have forgotten about. Like, let me go through some and think here. I mean, Bellerophon. This thing could use a little touching up. I mean, nobody wants to play this tier 3 thing. Hawkins, I don't know, this could use a buff. Let's see. What's some other ships that could use some buffs? I don't know, Surrey. Make the Surrey interesting. Who the hell wants to play the Surrey when we have the Fiji? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, just some nice little buffs to ships. And another one, a favorite one of mine, that I wish would get buffed. I always mention it in their Discord, and a lot of people do too. It's not just me. The Prince Eugen. I mean, the Prince Eugen is literally a Hipper class heavy cruiser, and yet it hasn't gotten the buffs that the Hipper has gotten. The Hipper has been buffed numerous times over the past year and a half, 2 years, and yet the Prince Eugen is still its 2020, 2021 version. It hasn't gotten any love. I think this ship should get a little bit of extra buffs. You know, whatever the Hipper got, this ship should get it too. You know, a little bit of it. You know, ships like, I don't know, what's some other ships that nobody wants to play over others? Normandy. I mean, I actually quite like the Normandy. It's pretty good. I don't think it needs a buff, but I don't know, just making some ships interesting, you know, that people might want to play over others. Because it's hard to, you know, like, for example, it's hard for me to play these random ships, like a Gorky. Who wants to play a Gorky when there's a Bajani? You know what I mean? Like, Bajani. Who would want to play Gorky over Bajani? Nobody. Nobody with, you know, logic would play Gorky over Bajani. I think there should be a little bit of changes made, you know, to some ships to make them more appealing to play. Just my thoughts. I mean, like, again, it's hard to not play meta ships when, you know, when they're just the best thing going. Why would I want to play a Cavour when I have Giulio Cesare? Why would I want to play a Trento when I have the Duca d'Aosta or something? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, just some changes would be nice to some ships. Make them more appealing. Again, I think, though, like I said, the game is pretty well off. Like, I think the game overall is in a good spot, but there are some minor things that should get touching up. You know, this being that, you know, making ships more appealing. But that's just a little pet peeve of mine. I don't think it's... Again, you all could have your own different opinions, but for someone who's been playing the game since it came out, and I have 260 days played and almost 20,000 battles played, you know, I would like to see some freshening up on some ships, you know, to make them more appealing to play. And I would like to see some more game modes and some more battle types and stuff like that, you know. Like, for example, you guys remember when carriers first came out? Yeah, you remember that game mode where carriers were locked behind a game mode? Like, if you, I think it was called air support or something, where if you wanted to try carriers, you had to go into a separate game mode. Well, there could be some different game modes, like convoy escort. There could be different game modes, like American versus Japanese ships. Stuff like that. There could be asymmetric battles. That's something on PC you guys can look up. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can, that Wargaming could be adding to make the game more interesting. There's also some more stuff they could be doing with the store here. Like, for example, why don't they add more ships like the Enterprise? If you guys don't know of the USS Enterprise, CV6, look it up. There's a lot of premium things they could add. USS Johnston. I don't know. You know, like the Leipzig, a German Nuremberg, another one. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of fun historical ships they could be adding. But another thing I want to touch on is the Forge. The Forge has barely anything cool in it. I mean, yeah, we got the Salem, we got the Dyson, we got the Missouri, and we have the Murmansk. And the Forge has been out for like 3 years, I think, right? 3-something years, if I'm not mistaken, and we only have 4 ships. Why don't Wargaming add some, you know, lower tier ships? Why not put in some weird, wonky, you know, tier 4, 5, 6 ships, you know, into the Forge? I don't know. Like, maybe add the California back. Hey, add the California into the Forge for like 8,000 steel. A lot of people didn't get the California in the first couple years the game came out, so maybe add the California in here. Maybe add the John Bart in here for like 100,000 steel as like a meme, right? I mean, like, you can do some fun things with the store, Wargaming. You really could. And you can also add a new currency. You know, coal ships are a thing on PC. Coal is another currency, and there are coal ships on PC. Like you can buy the Salem, you can buy the Trump, you can buy a whole bunch of coal ships on PC. You can buy the I think the Congress is in there, and a bunch of things. There's a lot of stuff they can do with the store and make it more appealing, and they could add coal into the game. Coal is also a free currency on PC. You can earn coal completely for free, and you can buy premium ships with that coal. A problem with a lot of newer players when they're starting out this game, like they don't have the option to get a premium ship, at least a high tier premium ship where they can earn a lot of credits with. Like I remember when I first started this game, you know how hard it was to grind credits and stuff, man. It was extremely difficult. So it'd be nice if Wargaming had some more opportunities out there for players to get tier 6 and 7 premium ships, even buying some for free. I mean, we do have quite a bit of tier 7 premium ships in the store for global XP, but adding a different currency like coal, for example, that's been on PC forever, it'd make it interesting. Even like adding even adding the ships we already have in the store for coal. Like if you want to pay 10,000 doubloons for the West Virginia, or there's an option to pay like 20,000 coal for the West Virginia instead. Like maybe just something like that. It's an idea. I mean, again, it's just my opinion. And another thing, the Bureau. I think the Bureau needs some touching up. Because the only things that are in here now is just legendary ships. Like, there's nothing... Like, when's the last time we've had a regular Bureau project that wasn't a legendary ship? I would like to see some more stuff done with the Bureau. Add some freaking... add some more stuff in here. Like, some stuff to work towards. I don't know. Collections. Like, I would like to see some collections that aren't boring. Like, these collections have all been... I'm sorry, Wargaming, but these have all been dog shit. The rewards have been dog shit. Who wants, like... the struggle we had to go through to get the Mikasa 23? That shit was horrible. And then this was okay. I mean, you get a cool Lady Liberty, guys. But again, it's like, what's the point here? I mean, it's kind of lame. I would like to see some special, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 premium ships, in here. Some I don't know, even some different versions of premiums we have or something. Maybe like a Pensacola class heavy cruiser like the USS Salt Lake City, tier 5 premium Pensacola. I don't know, just an idea. Throw it in the collection and make the collection a little bit more difficult. Like maybe get 20 citadels or 20, 30, 40, 50 citadels. Take a while to do, but you'd get it done eventually. I mean, that, again, it's just ideas, right? But again, like I said, I think the game's in a good spot. Like, the state of the game, I think it's in a good spot. It's annoying, though, a lot of times. Like, that's my problem. It gets super tedious and it gets super repetitive after a while. I mean, that's basically my only problem with the game. I'm running, like, me as a player who comes on every day and does the majority of my stuff, like I can get all my weekly Havocs done, I can get all my premium supplies done in, like, 3 to 4 hours. Like, I could literally get everything done if I put my mind to it in, like, 3 to 4 hours. Even less than that. Like, all my challenges. I can get everything knocked out in, like, a couple hours if I really put my mind to it and went absolutely crazy. Like, that's a problem. I think there needs to be a lot more, I think there needs to be more of an incentive to get on every day for especially people that play the game every day like myself. I know there's hundreds, if not thousands of people out there who are like me who come on every day and dedicate themselves to playing this game. I think there needs to be daily login rewards. Like, it's kind of freaking lame that the only thing you get for logging in every day is a freaking crate. Like, you only get a crate. It's not here for me, but I already redeemed it. But you only get a standard crate. Why don't you increase those rewards every week? Like, if you log in for a week, you get a big crate. If you log in for 2 weeks, you get, I don't know, a super crate. Maybe add a new crate to the game, like a super container. Super containers are a thing on PC. They have chances of dropping ships and coal and steel and all the stuff. And maybe like week 4 or week 5, you get like a, I don't know, it's just anything, like 1,000 steel or something. 2,000 steel, and then it resets or something, and maybe you could pile up a bunch of rewards. I don't know, it's just an idea. Maybe a week 5 of logging in, you get like a 750 doubloons, stuff like that. I mean, give an incentive for everybody to log in every single day, because I know I do, and I know I'm not the only one. There's lots of people out there who dedicate themselves to the game and come on every other day, if not every day. And so it'd be pretty cool if there was more, loyalty rewards. There doesn't seem to be a lot of them, you know what I mean? But Anyway, like I said though, overall, I think the game's in a good spot. I think the health of the game is in, I think, the best it's ever been. I think Wargaming has been doing a pretty decent job in delivering a lot of stuff. But there are some pet peeves of, pet peeves of mine that, it drives me crazy sometimes. Like this game, I love it. I like playing it. I love ships. I love playing my ships, but sometimes it gets a little repetitive and boring after a while, and I want something different. I want to do something, a little bit, something completely different from what we've been doing. Some different game modes would be cool. I don't know. But anyways, just some ideas. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. What do you guys think about the game currently? Any ideas that you guys want, like new changes or stuff you want changed, like nerfed, or like ships you want changed or ships you want nerfed, stuff like that. Let me know in the comments below. Anything World of Warships Legends. Like anything you think, put it in there. What you think about the game and about things and anything, I'm super interested in hearing on what you guys have to say. Yeah, nonetheless, everybody, thank you all for watching. Like I said, bit of a different video today. I just thought I'd come on and talk about the game and stuff, because I've got nothing else better to do right now. I've already done most of the stuff. I got the Lucian. You guys probably saw that video that I posted the other day. I hope you all did enjoy it. Pretty damn good match. And, I mean, overall, I've pretty much done everything this update. I mean, I've gotten my Centurion. I got I got the Ferruccio. I already did a video on the Ferruccio. I got the Leone. I'm probably not going to do a video on the Leone or the Centurion because they're kind of boring. I'm not the biggest fans of them, but again, whatever, right? But yeah, seriously though, if you guys did enjoy, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And again, like I said, leave a comment. I usually do look at all my comments and I usually respond to most of them, so comment away. But anyways, have a great one, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the update, and yeah, you guys will probably see me again, of course, with another video whenever I feel like it, right? I mean, again, I've already done a majority of stuff this update, so the content has been a little bit slow lately. But yeah, peace out. Stay healthy, as always.